Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner Studio, and with me this morning is Kimberly Hancock. Kimberly is an entrepreneur. Is that what we call you?
Absolutely.
You are definitely an entrepreneur. Has been into a lot of things, and one of her latest ventures is a thing called Code Ninjas. The name is so cool. I mean, I just think that it kind of gears to kids. I think they like that ninja stuff.
Absolutely.
I think we all do. We watch Ip Man and all them guys. Do.
Absolutely.
So, and of course, coding is the big thing now. And so why don't you tell us how you got into this program? Then we'll talk a little bit about the program, but
Sure.
But how you got started, and I noticed you have a little background in that field. So why don't you tell us how this vision came your way?
Sure. So I moved back to Front Royal about 3 years ago, and I have been a web and graphic designer for over 25 years, self-taught. Worked for Dell Computers, worked for Advanced Micro Devices when I was in Austin with a high school diploma from Warren County. But I was able to teach myself. So when I moved back here, I started looking around at, what businesses were here, what opportunities there were for, not necessarily for kids, but, the opportunities in general as far as technology and, where the world is going. And I was extremely disappointed to find that there are no programs here supporting tech and, doing this type of stuff.
Sure,
I know
sure.
the Girl Scouts have an extensive coding cyber type program badges, and the Boy Scouts do also. But, if you're not involved with those organizations, then, you may not know those things are available. So in looking around and trying to decide, what type of business I wanted to bring to the community, I came across Code Ninjas, and it just captured my heart because this is what I've done for my career. I made a career out of coding. I taught myself how to do it. So if these kids are interested in video games, why can't we teach them the back end and show them how they can make video games? And that really gets them excited. They love playing video games, so
Sure
of
they
course
do.
they're going to love getting in there and breaking video games and I broke it, well, how do I fix it? And
Yeah.
they're very curious, and this program allows them to explore that curiosity.
So what's the age group that this is kind of geared to?
Our age group right now is 7 to 14. And that we're looking at maybe offering a juniors program because we've had a lot of interest in that.
Sure.
And we may be expanding and offering some adult level programs later in the future as well.
That's good. Code Ninjas. Is this kind of like a franchise organization?
It is.
So they're all over the place.
Yes, we have approximately 300 locations all
Wow.
across the United States, Canada, and the UK. So we are an international company. And a lot of the other locations are quite a bit larger than we are. Our market allowed us to open what's called a studio. So where in Gainesville they have the capacity to have 25 to 30 ninjas at the same time in their dojo, we only have the capacity to have 5. So, and that's really the only difference between our location and another location is the size. We teach the same curriculum, we have the same programs, we do everything is the same.
So you have like 5 students at a time.
Yes.
So you have multiple classes then.
Yes. So we host multiple classes. We call them sessions a day.
Sure.
And we can
Dojo. I like how she put in that dojo.
Yep. Everything, our program is completely based around, what kids are familiar with as far as a karate program.
Sure.
They start off in the white belt, and then as they learn and they advance, they end up with a black belt. And it's designed to be a 5-year program. So it's not something that they, just jump into and then, jump back out
Not a
of.
summertime. Let me try it. But they can start and see if they
Yes.
really got the skill set or the mindset
Absolutely.
to grasp. It's not for everybody.
Right.
But I always find this interesting where the kids say, "Oh, he's got this. He's got ADD," and all. Stick them in front of that coding and our computer, they're there for hours.
Absolutely.
It kind of disproves that theory. They just want to be challenged. And I think that age group, that 7 to 14 or even younger, they're like sponges, They just want to learn things. And I think if they're exposed to it,
Very much.
That's how you learn. And you're really true. It's kind of hard to teach coding per se. I mean, it's really a self-taught skill, isn't it? I mean, you're giving them the basics, but they have to want to do it.
Yes, they absolutely have to want to do this. But the other side of it, so the way we teach the ninjas is it's a self-guided, but they have what's called code senseis that are there to help them if they run into problems.
Right.
And our senseis have gone through the program, so they know exactly what is expected of the ninjas, and they know how to help them when they have issues. And the other thing that we work on, is socialization and team building.
Sure.
So, if a ninja gets stuck on an issue or on a problem, the first thing we do is ask them, turn to your neighbor and see if they had this same problem, and maybe what did they do to resolve it. So working together and building those socialization skills.
Well, that's
too.
really good, because that's the first thing you think of. You see the kid on the phone. They're sitting at the table. They're not talking to anyone. They go to their rooms. So this may be a good way to like you say, give them these socialization skills that they're not alone, and this is not something you do just by yourself.
Yep.
A friend of mine's a coder, and of course he works from home now, and he's on a military contract, but they still work in teams.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they're sitting there doing their thing, they rely on this group that they're together with in order to accomplish, because they're each doing their own little part. Then they got to put it all together to see if it works.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's not just something that you just start from, okay, line one, it's like writing a book, right? Line one, I start chapter one. No, it's not like that at all.
Right.
But why don't you give us an idea of what, like lesson one, what do they learn? And a lesson 500, where are they at?
Sure. So the first part of the program is called the White Belt, and that basically introduces them to our game development platform, which is proprietary to Code Ninjas. It's something that we've developed and we have in-house. So the White Belt really walks them through using the game development platform, gets them familiar with how to go into different areas, make changes into different things. They actually get to fix broken video games pieces, find bugs.
Sure.
and find these things and make things work. And so they become more curious. As they advance into the yellow belt, it is definitely more challenging and takes more time. Most of our current students are working through the white belt in about 6 weeks. And typically kids come in for 2 hours a week.
Okay.
So we're set up for 2-hour sessions. They can come in once a week, 2 times, or they can come in 1 hour 2 times a week, or they can come in 1 time a week for 2 hours.
Right.
But so as they work through that program and as they work through that manual, they're learning the foundation of what they'll need as they go to the next belt.
How about a black belt? Now, what is that? They have such a thing?
Yes. By the time the ninjas reach black belt, they will have developed their own game in an app called Unity, and they will actually publish it to an app store or the Play Store where it can be purchased, downloaded. And so they've actually created something, developed it, put it out there, and that's when companies like Google and Apple start paying attention, and your phone starts ringing,
Yeah.
and you get scholarships for tech, and because people recognize, okay, this kid really is serious.
Yeah, this is a new skill set. This is the new tech wave. I think we're going to see is my mother always would tell, one of her grandsons, he's so smart, he's so good on computers. No, he plays computers. He really doesn't know how they work. This kind of gives them that skill set of saying they really do understand the internal working of the machine language, so to speak, I guess.
Well, I like to say, they get under the hood.
There you go. That's a good example, yeah.
If they can get under the hood and get their fingers in there and kind of see how things work and understand how the games that they're playing are built, then, they're more interested in them.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
So it's just not sitting around playing video games.
It's quality screen time.
Oh, can you share with us what this costs?
Sure. So our basic program is called Create, and that program offers children the ability to come in for 2 hours a week, which is 8 hours a month in tech training. The basic cost for that is $199 a month. We're currently running a special, so we do have some discounts in place for that. And that, again, like I said, they can come in for 1 hour twice a week, or we have sessions now on Wednesdays, Saturday, and Sunday that are 2 hour sessions. So they can come in once a week and just, do 2 hours of learning with us, and then they're done for the week. We find that's a lot. It's really convenient because kids are busy. There's a lot going on. With the way things have been over the last year, they really haven't had the opportunity to get together and socialize, to even do sports. Well, now sports is coming back online, so we want to make sure that we can accommodate, and that they have time to do other things on their schedule as well.
Well, it's kind of like going to summer camp,
And
in a way.
Absolutely, and that's the next thing that we are going to be offering. We have a spring camp coming up next week, and then we'll have a summer camp schedule that will be released in April.
So is that something where they'll be engaged for 5
Yes.
days in a row or something?
Yes, exactly. So the way the camps will work is there'll be 3 hours a day for 5 days for a total of 15 hours.
Well, that'll get them engaged. I mean,
Yes.
that kind of they'll soak it in, so to speak.
It's definitely more in depth, and some of the topics that we'll cover in summer camp will be how to build your own website, how to become a YouTuber. We are working on putting together some Minecraft camps and some Roblox camps as well, because those are two of the most popular platforms for kids these days.
Right. I hear my grandson, my 8 or 9 year old, I don't know how old he is now, they grow up so fast, they use that Minecraft and Roblox. Roblox, is that what it is?
Roblox.
Roblox?
Roblox, yes.
I see them, and I bought him a book, it's like this thick, and it's about Minecraft or something, I thought. And they sit there and just watch other people play games on YouTube. I thought, okay.
Yeah, and so that's why we know that is a good camp, because children want to learn how to do that. They see other people doing that, and they want to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
So we incorporate that into what we're doing, because we want it to be not only educational, but we want it to be fun as well. And some of the things that we offer, in addition to the camps, we do a parents' night out. That really is just a free-form time for kids to get together and have fun in our dojo.
Yeah.
We have movies, we have pizza, and we have 5 kids that get together and just hang out and play games for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And the parents get an evening out.
That's something different. It's interesting to do that.
We everyone that we've had so far has been full.
Well,
We've been completely booked.
So that's a success. That
Yes.
shows there's a need for that. But it's really interesting, the whole concept of this. And again, maybe investing in your child now is your future retirement plan. When these, think about the skill sets that people will learn now at this young age and can move on as they get older and older. It's only going to, I don't think it's going to go away.
Right.
And again, it's going to translate other than just from video games into other things as well. I mean,
It absolutely
it's the principle
does.
of the whole machine and how they work and how they talk and make them work. I can remember in high school, a long time ago, 50 years ago, our computer classes consisted, that was in the math department, and we had to write out, Fortran and Cobalt, and we had to put the little squares, and then we would send it to the university, and they would key punch it, and they would run it on their IBM 360, so it would take a week from the time you wrote it to the time you got back your printout to see if it
Wow.
worked. And if you have one glitch, it don't work.
Wow.
So that was computer math in 1968 or
Wow.
whatever year that was.
Yeah, I took a computer development class at Warren County in, I believe it was 88 or 89, and it was taught in the VOTech building,
Yeah.
and not very interesting and not anything I ever thought I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then I
I
moved
could
to
say
Austin.
the same thing after I took it. I said, I'm not really interested in computers.
Yep. Yeah. I was very fortunate though after moving to Austin to get, picked up by Dell Computers,
Right.
and that just that really launched my career.
Well, I really appreciate you bringing that to Warren County, Front Royal. You're located right on Main Street, aren't you?
Yes, we're at 217 East Main. We're located in between Royal Spice and the Daily Grind. We're upstairs, so you have to kind of think like a ninja if you're trying to find us.
It's kind of like our studio, the upper room studio, as we call it. Well, again, Kimberly, I really appreciate it. When you get ready, some of your camps and things started, come on back. We'll talk about those. And meanwhile, we'll put the information to the website and everything in the
Awesome.
bottom of the story here so they can find you. But check it out. It's an interesting thing if you have a child in that, or coming up on that 7 to 14-year-old range. It sounds like see if they're really interested in it and if they'll move forward. It's great.
Yep.
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Sure. Thanks, Kimberly.